Hey everyone, Kelly here, and I want to talk about my pile of possibilities or TBR pile for June. I want to think of these more as a pile of possibilities to read than just a strict TBR, because here's the thing, I haven't been doing TBRs for a long time, and part of that is I end up with these huge piles of unrealistic amounts of books to read. But that's because I am a mood reader, and if I give myself a small TBR, like yeah, realistically I only read nowadays 4 to 8 books a month, but if I only picked out like 5 books I'm gonna read in June, I'm not gonna end up reading those 5 books, I can guarantee. So instead, I end up pulling like a bunch of things that I'm kind of interested in at the moment, and I just kind of pick what I want in the moment. But I do have kind of 2 categories of books I'm pulling from for June. So my first category is books that I have started and I really need to finish. We're almost halfway through the year. June will mark the halfway point when we get to the end of it. And so I want to kind of finish off a lot of the books that I had started previously in the year and let sit for whatever reason. Just, you know, all of these are ones I still want to finish. So these aren't ones that I plan on DNFing. These are just ones that for some reason or other, I put them down. And it could just be that I got in the mood for something else and then I kind of forgot I was reading this book and now I need to pick it back up. So all these are, I do want to finish these. So I have a few kind of like for each month, except for January. But I have a couple I start in February, March, April, and then ones I'm kind of currently reading in May. I might finish some of these before the end of May. I'm filming this on the 27th, though I don't think it'll go up until the end of May, so I might have finished a couple of these because I am a good portion of the way in some. Oh my goodness, my cat is like really wanting attention right now, so he might be making some noise during this. Okay, the books that I started in May, so I'm kind of like currently reading these books. I have Paladin Strength by T. Ken Fisher, and this is the second in the Saints of Steel, and I loved Paladin's Grace, which you'll find out in my May wrap up, and so I just wanted to continue right away. And now he's knocking the tripod. Come on, buddy. Can you stop? So I wanted to keep going. I'm just towards the beginning because I just started this yesterday. Come on, kitty. Or 2 days ago. So I'm not like very far into this. I probably won't finish this before the end of May, but I will be actively reading that one. And then this one, I'm mostly listening to this on audiobook now because I'm having trouble staying invested. And that's Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I bought the new prequel, Hamish's Story, recently, but I was like, I never read this prequel, so maybe I should read this one first, and I'm just not invested in it, but I'm already halfway through, so I was like, I'll just switch to audiobook and finish this off. Maybe I can pick this back up and finish this before the end of May, so it doesn't so it doesn't follow me into June. But yeah, that is my like audiobook right now. And now 2 books that I started in April and haven't finished. This is a short story collection, The Breaking Point by Daphne du Maurier. So I don't feel like super needing to finish this because since they're short stories, they're not, as long as I'm gonna forget the plot. But I have made it quite a ways through here, so I figure I probably will finish it just to get it off of like my list or whatever. So there's, I think I have 3 more stories. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3, and I'm in 1 right now, so 3.5 stories left to read of that. And that is kind of like, I mean, she writes not necessarily gothic, but like suspenseful kind of short stories. And then I have An Ember in the Ashes by Sabati here, and I was really loving this when I picked it up in April, and then I don't know why I stopped, but Krista from Books and Jams, and who's the other person? Is it Sarah? Yeah, I'll link them down below, but they are doing a read along of this starting in June. So I definitely want to finish it in June so I can join that read along, and that'll push me to read the rest of the series, which I don't know if you can see them behind me. They're up somewhere up there. I don't know, but I have like the whole series. So I would like to join their read along. So I have to finish this in June so that I can join their read along. And then a couple books I started in March. It was middle grade March, so these are both middle grade books. I have Nightfall by Shannon Messenger, which is book 6 in The Keeper of Lost Cities. And these just for some reason take me forever to read. I know some people say they are fast reads. I don't find them fast reads, maybe because I just know, oh, I still got like 800 pages left to go, so it feels like it never ends. But I do want to like get back into this series because my daughter is starting this series now, my 10-year-old. And so I would like to get back into it so that I can discuss it with her because she reads them super fast, like reads books super fast. So I would like to be able to chat with her about them since I have read the first 5 books. I want to finish this one. This is, of all of the ones, I feel like this is the least into the book I've gotten. I only got 100 pages into this one. So hopefully I can finish that one. And the other March one was Alebrijes by Donna Barba Higuera. And this one I have no excuse. I've been saying I'm going to read this book ever since I bought it. I put it on middle grade March last year, and I did pick it up this middle grade March, and then I didn't finish it. I have no excuse. I'm enjoying it. I think it's because this one feels very intense. Like the point I am in the story, I'm like scared for the main characters and their kids. And so it feels very intense for me. And I think that's why I put it down, because I'm like, I mean, it's middle grade, so it's probably going to turn out okay. It's probably going to have hope. But right at the moment, I'm just feeling very intense feelings about these characters. And so that's why I had put it down in March. But yes, I definitely want to finish this one by the end of June. And then I have a couple ones that are from February. And these are also ones I just no excuse. The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. I was enjoying it. It was reading fast, and then I just put it down and for months. But the funny thing about this one is it reads so fast that like yesterday I picked this back up, and I went from like, let me just see. I was at chapter 14 when I put it down back in February, and I read that much just yesterday. So obviously it's a fast moving book. I'm invested. I don't know why I put it down. I probably will finish this one before the end of May. I'm hoping, since now that I've picked it back up and I'm kind of flying through it yesterday, I think I can keep that momentum up. So that one was from February. And another one I started in February was Fire by Kristen Kishore. And I don't know if this is just the Graceling books, because Graceling was another one I read like half of and then I put back down. I think there's just something with her pacing that I get like, and I even stopped this at a section like part 2. So I think it's like the pacing or something where I'm like, oh, I need to put this down. And then I pick it back up and then I read it, like binge read it for a while. And then I get to another section and I'm like, put it back down. So this is the last one that I want to finish off in June. So that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8 books that I'm partway into that I would like to be done. And hopefully I can finish all of those. Because even though that's like 8 books, that seems like a lot, I'm already halfway through the majority of them. So they really shouldn't, so really it's only like reading 4 books, right? If I'm already halfway through them. So it's not gonna feel like that many if I finish all of those. That would be my first goal. My second goal, this is where the unrealistic TBR comes in, that I'm definitely not gonna read this whole pile, but I wanted to read some, like for Pride Month, I wanted to read some like LGBTQ plus books from my shelves, ones I own. And my goal with, out of these, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 books here. Out of these 11, I'd be happy if I read 3. And the reason I pulled them is they're different genres. I have some fantasy. Do I want to read fantasy, or do I want to continue a series? Do I want to read some historical fiction? I've got a short story collection, a play. So I have like different genres. So I think it'll just be what I'm in the mood for, because I know the ones I'm in, the ones that I had just talked to you about that I'm halfway through, most of those are fantasy. So maybe I'm not gonna be pulled toward fantasy in this category. Maybe I'll wanna pull out the historical fiction or the contemporary or something like that. So I wanted to give myself options, but like I said, if I could read 3 of these, that would be great. So I have a couple that are continuing series. Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. And I loved Half a Soul. It was like my favorite book last year. And I really did like 10,000 Stitches. So I would like to finish off this trilogy and enjoy that. So that's an option. Crooked Kingdom, I just finished 6 of Crows. So wouldn't it be great to just finish off a duology like right away? So that's an option. And just, I don't really know. A lot of these I didn't look into what the like queer status is. So I don't know if it's a main character or a side character. So some of these I might get into and realize, okay, that wasn't really as much of like the main character or whatever, because I didn't want to like spoil myself for things. So I didn't like look too deep into reviews to find out how much of, LGBTQ plus representation there is in these books. So just, that's a caveat. The next one is Paladin's Hope which is part of the reason I'm trying to finish Paladin Strength, because this one has a male-male romance. So I would like to get to this one in June and just continue the series, because like I said, I'm loving this series. And then I have a prequel. I have Bitter by Kweke Emezi, and I had read Pet. I still haven't removed the sticker on this one. I had read Pet a couple years ago and enjoyed it, so I wanted to read the prequel at some point. And then I just have a couple like standalone fantasies that I could pick up. These are more recent purchases. So Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres, is that how you say her name? This is the one that's a possibility. I don't read a lot of standalone fantasies, so I think it would be nice to read some standalone fantasy. And then I actually just bought this book, so it wasn't in my most recent haul, and I know I said I wasn't gonna buy anymore, but it just came out in May, and I've been really excited about it. It was like one of my anticipated new releases, so yeah, I went out and bought it. This is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. So, and look at that beautiful cover. Yeah, so that's a possibility. Those are all the fantasy options. I have a couple historical fiction. I have Under the Same Stars by Libba Bray, and this one takes place over several different time periods. This is such a beautiful edition of this book. So this one might be interesting. I bet this will read fast, because I feel like Libba Bray's books read pretty quickly. And then I have Great or Nothing, and this is by 4 different authors, and this is a retelling of Little Women, where each of the authors takes a different one of the ladies. So that'll be interesting if I could pick that up, since I just finished Little Women a couple months ago. And then I've got a middle grade contemporary. I have Hazel Bly and the Deep Blue Sea by Ashley Herring Blake, and I really enjoy her contemporary middle grade. So that's an option. And then short story collection, I have Fit for the Gods. And this one, I don't think they're all, they're retellings in different ways, like in more diverse ways. So I don't think they're all like queer retellings of Greek myths. I think some have like different ethnicities or things like that. Like, so it's different ways of doing diversity. So I don't think this is like all queer retellings. So we'll see if I start this. Yeah, it says an anthology of gender-bent, queered, race-bent, and inclusive retellings. So it's a possibility if I wanted to pick up a short story collection. Though I'm finishing that other short story collection, so maybe I won't be in the mood for short stories. We'll see. And the last one is a play. I have Gross Indecency, The 3 Trials of Oscar Wilde, a play by Moses Kaufman. And so this is about Oscar Wilde. And I've had it for a while, and I've wanted to read this play because I really enjoyed the other play I read by this playwright. So that's an option too. So, and I think that like the basis of this is the trials that Oscar Wilde went through were based off the fact that he was homosexual. So that's what he was being tried for. So I think this would be a good one to read for Pride Month to kind of learn more about the historical context of that time period. Yeah. So like I said, not realistic TBR, which is why it's more of a pile of possibilities. But if I could finish most of the books that I have started this year and read a few books for Pride Month, I think that that would be a success. I'm excited about a lot of these. So, and I've been reading more, I feel like, than I did last year. Though I say that as I've only finished 3 books in May. But previous to that, I was reading quite a few books in the first few months of the year. So who knows? Maybe June. I'm going to be working less in June. And so maybe there'll be more time for reading, but then it's also nicer out, so I might be going outside more. We'll see. It's like a balance of whether that'll mean more reading or the same amount of reading. But if we're going to be going down to the lake a lot to sit around for the summer, you know, my kids play in the lake, I can read. Because I don't go in the lake because Lake Superior never gets warm. And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if it's 80 degrees out. I'm not gonna go in the freezing cold water. It's just not my thing. So I usually sit and read while they play in the lake. So that's it for me. I'm starting to babble now. So if there's any of these books that you are also interested in reading, let me know. If you've read any of them, encourage me to pick them up, and I will see you next time. Bye.